Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Maria. Today we are making 4 easy Easter DIYs. Let's get to it. Okay, so our first one is an Easter egg nest. So I got these from the dollar store. This is a bath sponge. I don't know if they have this one still, but not all of them have it. So I grabbed the Elmer's adhesive spray, and then I have some reindeer moss. Now, this is a craft that I did last year, but I never posted the video. So I'm posting it now. So I grabbed this bath sponge and I cut like the inside of it because not a lot. I just put like an indent in the middle because I wanted to be the nest for the eggs. So I went around with my scissors and I cut out as much as I could, and then I put some spray in it. Well, I measure it to make sure that it's like deep enough for the eggs to fit in, and then I cut a little bit more um, because I felt like it wasn't deep enough. So these eggs I got from the Goodwill, and they had like a little string 'cause I think they were like ornaments for like one of the Easter trees that they do. And I just cut the inside a little bit more, and then I grabbed the spray some of the adhesive in there, and then I grabbed the reindeer moss and I put it in. I will say that the reindeer moss is really messy, so if you wanted to use something else, you actually can. I would say probably the the grass that you put inside the baskets for the Easter baskets. That will also work too, like some green ones. You can do this any color you like, but the green would look nice. I just did it this way because I just wanted to do something different. But I filled it up all the way around, put spray all the way around it. And then when I put the eggs in, I realized that I put too much in the middle, so I did take some out. And once I took enough out, the eggs fit in there perfectly. I did use some hot glue to glue the eggs in place because I tried it with the adhesive, but the adhesive wasn't like the spray. It just, I don't know, for some reason it just wasn't working right. So I did grab um, my glue gun and I used the hot glue to glue the eggs in place. So after I was done doing this, I then grabbed my candle holder plate or a candle holder dish and I put it right on top. So that completes my Easter egg nest. Okay, so these are beads. I got these beads at the dollar store. They'll be in the Easter section because these are Easter beads. So what I did here was that I grabbed some twine and I did a few loops of the twine, and then I made a knot. I'd like wrapped it around at the end, and then I'm gonna feed the beads onto the twine. Now, like I said, these crafts are crafts that I had did last year. I never posted the videos, but I wanted to post them this year because by the time I started to post videos, it was already way past Easter. But I am posting them now. But this is something that I had came up with last year, and I wanted to do it on my own. Now I could have used yarn for this, but I didn't. But I should have did it and then flared it out at the end with like a brush or something. It would have looked a lot better. But once I was done making the little tassel at the end of that, I then feed the beads onto the twine. Now I do this about 7 times, so it repeats 7 times. That's how long I wanted it to be. But once I was done doing that, I then grab the end and I do a knot, but then I also make like a little loop so it can hang. Um, but that will complete this one. I think this one actually turned out really cute for it to be for me to do it myself. But like I said, put a little tassel at the end. If you are going to use the twine, which you can, just have like a brush and then like comb it out at the bottom. I think it would have looked a lot better if I would have did that, but I didn't. But it also looked good with like some white yarn or maybe a pink or light blue, you know, the cute Easter colors of yarn that would look really cute if we did it that way. But that will complete the Easter beads that I made here. So our third craft is a bunny garland. So I got these at the dollar store. They have different ones this year, but they also have these. Um, I thought that these look cuter to make the garland. So what I did was I grabbed my twine, I grabbed my paint. Everything that I'm using in this video will be in the description box below, including the names of the paints. Now I got these paints from Walmart. Um, the bunnies I did get from the dollar store, and I also got the twine from the dollar store. Now I grabbed the bunnies and I took the tails off. I used about 8 bunnies to, well, I painted 8 bunnies, but I think I used around 6 or 7. I don't think I used all 8 after I painted them. But I grab the tails and I take them off because I do, I want to paint, but I don't want the tails to get painted. So I take them off of each bunny and then I paint the bunnies in blue, yellow, pink, white, and green. Now I do 2 blues, I do 2 yellows, and I do 2 of the white, and 1 green, and 1 pink. Now, the extra ones, like the extra blue and the yellow and the white, I do put polka dots on those with the paintbrush. But you'll see how that goes. And after I was done doing that, I glued the bunny tails back on, and then I glue them to the back. Well, I glued the twine on the opposite side of the bunnies, and then I hang those up. But you'll see how that comes out. Okay, so these are my spring and Easter block signs. So these are 2x4s that I cut 6 pieces of. Now, 3 pieces are 6 inches and the other 3 are 4 inches in height. So I wanted to do like the big and small letters. So what I did was I cut the pieces off and then I'll like into the size that I wanted them, and then I grabbed the glue gun, and once I knew which pieces were going to be side by side, I glue a 4-inch piece and a 6-inch piece. Now I did these by two, but there's a reason why I did this, because it's easier for me to switch the letters up if I have them by twos than to have them one by one. I don't know. That's how I thought at the moment. Well, I mean, they're actually not bad to put up, even then. So after I glue these together, um, I grab my paint, and then I paint all of the blocks in white. Top, side, bottom, all over. As you can see, everything but the bottom. So once I did that and everything was dry, I would say about a couple hours later. Yeah, everything was dry. I then go in with my painter's tape, frog tape, whatever you want to call it. It's the green one. Um, and I tape off the sides that I don't want painted. So I don't want the sides painted because both sides are going to be painted, the front and the back of this, in a whole different color. So what I did was I cut out my letters from my Cricut, and then once I was done putting the tape on all three pieces, which is three now because I glued the two pieces together, all three pieces, I then go with my words, with my letters, and I put each individual letter on, and then I paint over them. Now this was done in the course of a day. I started in the morning, and I think I was done like at the end of the day. But I did let these pieces dry for about an hour or two in between. The paint really didn't take that long to dry, and then I did use my blower to dry most of it, and then I let it sit for a little bit. So I think that helped a lot with the drying process. So after I dried everything and everything was completely dry for a little bit, then I put my letters on, and then I started to paint. Now I did the one side first. So I did Easter on one side, and then I did spring on the other, because I wanted to be able to use this, and then when Easter was over, just flip it and then put spring on. So I did do a little block that's going to go on the top. One side of the block says happy and the other side says welcome, but I do not have that on the video. I thought I did, but I didn't. So I ended up just, like, you'll see it when it's on display. But once I was done painting these, like I said, I went back with my blower and I dried it a little bit, and then I let the rest dry for like about an hour, and then I went back and painted the opposite side. The opposite side is gonna say spring. So once I was done, then I peel everything off, and then you'll see how that comes up next. Okay, so when I was painting the other ones on the Easter side, I noticed that I almost got some paint on the opposite block. Now I didn't want that, so to prevent that, I did grab a piece of paper and I put it in between both blocks just so the paint wouldn't get on the opposite block. It would just be on the one. Sometimes when you try to get like the curve part of it, it would have gotten onto the opposite block that's next to it, but I didn't want that to happen because I didn't want my colors to like overlap it, or you be able to see this color on the other one. Yes, we make mistakes, and it happens, but I mean, if you're doing something like this, I think it's best if you put like a piece of paper or something like in between it so the other block on the side doesn't get the paint that you're putting on. It'll just be that one block. I mean, I could have probably painted them separately and then glued them together, but I started from the beginning, then painted my way as I went. So that's probably the best way to have done it anyway. So moving forward, I after everything was completely dry, this was the next day, and then I just let everything dry overnight. So once that was done, I took the painter's tape off the sides, and then I went and took each letter off individually. Now this is the stencil vinyl that I used for the letters. I didn't use regular vinyl. I had the stencil one, so that's what I used for this. So I do peel off each letter one by one, of course, and then I do the opposite side. So like I said, one side says Easter and the opposite side says spring. After I took the letters out, some of the paint did get on the actual word, like the letters. So like the P, if you see the P has the blue like kind of covering it off, and then the green on the letter R on the green also has on the opposite side, also has the same thing. But I do go back and touch up the letters because I wanted the letters to all be white. Um, so I go back and I fix them a little bit. So I do touch up a little bit with the white. But other than that, I think this one turned out really, really cute. This is one of my favorites. But if you stay to the end of this video, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more. I have more coming this week. I will be making some Easter wreaths too and spring wreaths. So stay tuned for those videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.